Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to be talking about a special project that a whole bunch of breweries across Maryland joined in together to help raise some money to support the Brewers Association of Maryland. So let me start introducing everyone. First, we have Mike Clements from Idiom Brewing Company.
Hey, guys.
We have Dan Baumiller from Full Tilt.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Keith Core from Waradaka,
Howdy.
BC. Guess that's Brewing Company. You had to be all fancy.
Oh, yeah, fancy.
And Brendan O'Leary from True Respite. And there's a few other people that should be joining in throughout the night. Hopefully we'll see a couple more people. So Mike, do you want to kick off and explain a little bit more about the project?
Sure. So, we thought, that it would be helpful to help raise some money for the Brewers Association because the Maryland Craft Beer Festival was canceled. And it kind of looks like the Baltimore Craft Beer Festival and some of the other festivals that BAM was planning are going to either be delayed or canceled altogether. That's got a big impact on BAM. Most of their revenue comes from the festivals. So we decided that we were going to help them out and started talking to a few breweries throughout Maryland. We started with True Respite and Mully's, and then we started expanding from there to include Hill, Waradaka, and a couple other breweries. And then came up with some ideas about how we would go and create a beer for BAM. Initially, it was, we were trying to look at a common core recipe that could be used for a lager or an ale. Then we decided that, every brewery is unique. So why not let every brewery decide what they want to brew? And, the biggest point of it all is to raise money for BAM. So let people brew for BAM.
And so right now there are what, eight breweries signed up?
8 so far.
And this is just the first initial group of people that have signed up. There's a website up where breweries can sign up, or obviously they could just contact probably any of us directly. And we can show people what all of the cans and crowlers will look like. The left-hand side is customized by the brewery themselves. So do all of you know what you guys are going to make? You want to talk about your individual beers that you have planned?
Charlotte, Brendan go first since I think he's the first one to brew besides Mully's.
What's up, guys? So our idea is going to be a hoppy lager. We haven't actually picked our hop varietals yet. Our tank is just clearing out today. We have a kettle soured Belgian ale with tangerine that's going to come out taproom only, and we're filling in behind that batch with a hoppy lager. We'll be getting our hops from Hop Havoc, who is a brewing partner for us in this. They've offered a discount to the breweries who are going to be using them to supply their hops. Our intent for the design is for it to be in line with how we did Hyper Taurus and Fox, where you get like a really nice crisp base Pilsner behind the beer, and we'll go and add some more like modern juicy fruity hops to give you have that crisp clean base and then a little bit of that fruit juicy element that shows up sort of in the second part of the palate after you've gotten through the lightly sulfurous crispy lager in the beginning.
So as I said, we have a website that was built for this. Be fun. It's a simple tell you about the beer, about BAM, their mission. And you can scroll down. These are all the breweries that have signed on so far. So you can look forward to all their beers. Then any brewery that wants to join in, you can download all of the templates and fonts that are used for the packaging, and then fill out this form and we'll get notified and someone will get back in touch with you. So, Dan, do you want to talk about your beer next?
Yeah, sure. We were kind of trying to go the lager route, not too far off of what Brendan was talking about, but we just haven't gotten our tank installed yet, and it's just what's going to take a while. So what we have that's hot right now is the Dan's Jams, and so we're just doing BAM's Jams. It'll be a quick turnaround, and it should be like some pretty fun marketing. We have Phil Pilgrim working on it already. It should definitely make you guys laugh. So I know it's going in a different direction, but the ultimate goal is to raise money for BAM, and we think this will help us do it pretty quick, and it's going to be hilarious.
So what kind of fruit will be in it?
Jordan still owes me that answer. We're leaving it up to him, but I don't know. I'll let you know, but unfortunately, I don't know exactly what we're doing yet. We just decided on this yesterday.
All right, Keith, your turn.
So ours is actually canning. I don't know when everybody else's is hitting the market, but we are canning ours a week from tomorrow. And so we're excited about that. We are actually collaborating with Tony at True Respite on this product. Tony, with being a nano,
Saints Row.
is looking for
Tony at Saints Row, my man.
Yeah. What'd I say? True Respite. Sorry, Saints Row. Tony's a nano, so he's looking for I think a little bit more cans on the market. So we're kind of brewing some of this with him. Our project was we tried to make a little bit of homage to Sierra Nevada. So this is like resinous, a little bit bitter, kind of copper color, C60, kind of went old school American pale ale with this. Zach, my assistant brewer, really wanted to brew kind of a classic pale ale. So we kind of went that way with it. We're really excited to participate in this. I think that a lot of the fans either fall in love with or really solidify their love for Maryland craft beer at those festivals. And I think what people don't know is how much they do for our industry, how much BAM does for our industry. And they put on great festivals, but this is an important cause for everybody that is kind of entrenched in the Maryland beer scene. And we're really excited to be approached with the project. And I think, like I said, we're going to have cans on the market, 16-ounce 4-packs a week from tomorrow. So Tony from Saints Row and Waradaka will have a collab coming out on next Tuesday. So we're really excited to participate.
You also pronounced it wrong. So Brendan's probably going to punch you the next time you see him.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Hey, whenever people say respite instead of respite, first of all, that is a grammatically correct pronunciation in the dictionary, albeit a secondary pronunciation. But my answer is always just, you can call us whatever you want as long as you're talking about us.
There you go. There you go.
That's kind of how I view it.
I remember you telling me it was wrong last week.
Yeah, well, we had a few grammar corrections last week when we were sitting there talking together.
So, Brendan, and Keith touched on what I was going to ask next already. Why were you so willing to join in on the Brew for BAM project?
BAM is an integral part of the advancement of the industry in Maryland. It's no secret that doing business as a small brewery in Maryland is tougher than in other states. That has never been more clearly evidenced than when you just check out the economic impact per capita numbers across the country, and we are in dead freaking last. I take it back. We're in 50th out of 51. I think Mississippi manages to be less impactful in their craft industry than we are. And I know that's probably a shocking number for a lot of craft fans to hear, but it's the truth. And the only way that we've been able to make some advancements here in the past few years is the advocacy and efforts of BAM. They hired a lobbyist group. We've been out there in Annapolis doing Monday walkabouts prior to session starting last year and the year prior, actually. So it's a high level of engagement with our electeds, local and statewide. They are fantastic for doing educational and quality seminars. They work a lot with the University of Maryland and with Flying Dog to make sure that there are local hop reading programs and all kinds of really cool, interesting things to help Maryland beer be its very best. And we would not be the industry we are without them. And if we're going to grow from where we are and begin to compete on a national level in terms of economic impact and cultural impact, our breweries have to be allowed to operate in a way that makes sense. And that all roads to that go through BAM. So it's critical for us to raise this money and make sure that they're able to advocate for us on our behalf.
And what about you, Dan? You have anything eloquent to say?
I mean, Brendan definitely stole the show, but or explained it better than I could. But yeah, I mean, BAM has a huge impact. We're interfacing with them throughout the coronavirus pandemic, and talking to them about what we can do, and they're advocating for us constantly, and it's important that they help us going forward. It's going to be tough coming out of this. Brendan and I have talked on the side about what the lasting impacts are, and we need BAM to turn the corner correctly, so we can all stay in business and continue to grow the community rather than all be wiped out by this thing. So certainly we'd like to support them.
Yeah, because I think Mike said it early on. The major problem is that I probably should have asked Jim what the percentage was, but I'm going to guess it's a pretty high percentage of their revenue funding comes from these events that they aren't able to have. And just like the National Brewers Association, who is what if they've laid off like close to 40% of their staff at this point.
Yeah, last number I looked at was I think 35%. So I mean that's a significant impact at the national level. Imagine if that was at the state level, and that's what we're trying to avoid here.
So the actual logistics of how this is working, there's a retainer that BAM pays to a company called Grow and Fortify. Grow and Fortify, they're like the executive leaders of BAM. They do a lot of the behind the scenes work, the paperwork, the advocacy. They're the day-to-day, like full-time dedicated to this. And then the brewers, we represent like the members who will do the voting and say, yes, go ahead with this, or no, don't go ahead of this. But it's not like someone who runs a brewery is out there filing all the paperwork to the federal government, to the state government every week or every month as needed. We have Grow and Fortify for that. And the brewers get to focus on making the decisions and kind of the substantive stuff. And Grow and Fortify is who's behind actually getting things done. And we are trying to make sure that BAM can pay Grow and Fortify's retainer this year. Number one, more important than anything, we cannot lose Grow and Fortify and their leadership in BAM. It has been absolutely instrumental for the momentum we built over the past few years, and that organization has been transformational for our industry.
I should say that I was talking about Grow and Fortify. I kind of blend them together in my head way too much, but yeah, exactly.
I think everybody does. I mean, that's the face of it now is BAM, but it's Kevin, Jim, Abby, Jana, everybody,
Kelly, the whole gang.
Yeah, they're amazing people. They work their butts off to promote the industry, and all of us lean on them all the time for answers, for quick responses, for guidance with regard to law and with regard to reporting, everything. And if they weren't there to answer questions, a lot of us would be lost sometimes.
On a less serious note, Hysteria Brewing is one of the breweries that's going to be joining the project. Ty isn't here. He's standing us up, I guess. Does anyone want to take any shots at him?
I think we're all better for that, honestly, Chris.
And also, I'm openly recruiting a brewery to do a collaboration with me. The only stipulation I have is that the label explicitly makes fun of Ty. So if any of you are interested in that, I don't care what kind of beer it is, what the name of it is, just as long as the label makes fun of Ty.
We should all do it and call all but Ty.
Ty who?
So Mike, when did you say yours is coming out?
Well, we haven't scheduled ours yet. We've been a little bit tied up doing our day to day. We're in a kind of a unique scenario. We actually grew a little bit during all of this, so we're still trying to catch up with the new tanks and trying to fill out our tap lines again since we started pulling back a little bit from distro to utilizing our tap room. So we expect to get that in tank next week, and we're looking at doing a hoppy lager as well, more on the New Zealand side. So we're going to do something with some, New Zealand hops to give it a little bit more like lime zest, dryness, of course, in the front, but a little bit of lime zest, some additional fruit in the background. So that's what we're planning to do. So I'd expect about 4 to 6 weeks before we get everything out.
And Dan, you were the same thing. You weren't positive when it's coming out, right?
Yeah, we have another batch of sours that we should be brewing like in another week or two, and then ours will actually be in line with yours, Chris. We're gonna order the ingredients, the BAM's jams. I can't even say it. BAM's jams and Sans jams at the same time, so it'd be a split kettle sour.
We haven't even announced that yet.
I guess I just did.
Brendan, quick recap of when yours is coming out.
So we are putting ours in the tank, I think, next week or the week after, and it takes 4 to 5 weeks for it to lager properly, and then it'll be another week conditioning probably in the bright tank before it's canned. So we're probably like a month and a half away from that one hitting. And we are doing all crowlers for this one. So this will be an all draft, all crowlers batch.
And Keith, yours is coming out was it next week?
Yeah, a week from tomorrow we're canning that. I kind of call to action for all the fans and viewers out there. If you would spend, whatever it is on an entry ticket to a festival in Frederick or a festival in Baltimore with BAM, like go buy that much in 4-packs and crowlers, and a percentage of that goes back to BAM, and make sure that festival will be there next year. It's awesome that they're all going to be different, different styles and different spins on everything. So you can kind of compare and contrast. You can kind of have a can and bottle share, can and crowler share of everybody's different Brew for BAM. So we really want you guys to go out there and purchase this, and know that it's going to get reinvested into keeping all the breweries, keeping a beer in your hands. Ultimately, you want delivery, you want to go pick up all that ready to roll, like go ahead and buy a 4-pack.
Yeah, everyone should really understand that Grow and Fortify was instrumental in making sure that we were able to do delivery and making sure that we were able to continue to do curbside, and making sure that we were open for everyone to be able to come in and grab beer when they were staying at home. Like I said before, this is super critical to make sure that they continue to go forward, that we continue to go forward. Without them, it's going to be hard.
All right, so I tried to stall so Cindy and Ty could join us, but
well, Cindy, they released last weekend.
Yeah, Cindy's came out on Sunday. I think it was either Saturday or Sunday. Theirs is out.
Nice.
And
they did an amber ale, right?
Yeah.
So people better hurry up and run down there to get theirs, because they did a small batch, right?
Yeah, I think they did it in their pilot system.
All right. Well, everyone will obviously be updating on social media whenever these come out. I'll keep a rundown on them. Hopefully we can get BAM to also get that information out. I'm sure they'll help us share the word. They did not organize this. This is something that the breweries came up on their own and are doing for BAM themselves. BAM had nothing to do with this being done.
Cool.
And no, Ty's not.
We're at an interesting time in the industry too right now. Like I'm looking around, and all together, you know, the collab with Other Half just kind of rolled through. Black is Beautiful is going on with Weathered Souls. We've got Brew for BAM going here. It's interesting to see breweries kind of banding together to capture the collective goodwill of the industry to do good things for causes that need our special attention. One of the challenges as a brewer is you can't just do them all, right? Like if I could just give away all my money, I probably would, to be honest with you, but we got people we need to employ. And so there's a facet of this, I think, that we haven't really talked about. And I'm probably why a lot of folks who are watching this and haven't signed up yet, there's like a guilt factor that comes with, should I do this? Should I not do this? And which ones do I sign up for? And when, and how do I navigate like I guess the social mess that comes with all of the issues that are just so present in our culture right now. And to be honest with you, I have struggled with that personally because I just want to do them all. I want to do everything. I want to give away all the money. I want to be a part of everything. But we've had to kind of, you know, we can't forget that we're coming out of a pandemic and things are weird, right? And our tips are way down because retail is down. And so, you know, as Michael mentioned, we talked about this early on, and this has been something that's been in the works for a while. And when we at True Respite committed to this, Black is Beautiful wasn't even a project yet. And I worry a little bit about joining a project like this and people coming out and saying, well, you're doing Brew for BAM, but you're not doing Black is Beautiful. Do you not support Black Lives Matter? And it's incredibly challenging to navigate the political climate. And I just want to let everyone know that we are all operating businesses and doing the sincere best that we can. And if it were up to me, like I said, we would join every cause. I think Black is Beautiful is a wonderful project. It is incredibly encouraging to see, you know, 700 breweries across the country who have joined together to brew this beer and counting, I'm sure, but that's less than 10% of the breweries in the country. And I think the reason for that is we're all doing our best and opportunities present themselves at odd times. And I don't know, I want to express my solidarity with that movement and just say that just because we're out here doing Brew for BAM, I mean, I committed to this one first. I believe in both causes. I believe in all the causes, and I regret that I can't do them all, but I'm happy to be able to take part in something, and I want to throw my support behind that movement too, because I feel like it's important to be vocal about that, even if we can't support financially right now.
Was the Sierra Nevada fire one the first time that was like a large scale collaborative
campfire?
beer? Yeah, the campfire. Was that the first time it was done? Like this type of project was done? Or
I
at
think
least
Brilliance was the first major, you know, collaborative effort that I've seen in recent years. And then, you know, they did it twice. And then, you know, this All Together movement happened after COVID started. Then Black is Beautiful, and now this. I mean, you know, Brendan hit on this earlier, but it is a major thing to see as many breweries coming together behind issues. I mean, it wasn't like this before. It wasn't, you know, everybody was out there on their own. Everybody was fighting for their own causes. Everyone was donating to their local organizations, which are still important, but there's also a bigger message out there. And people need to take that into account when they're interacting with other breweries, both on the state side and nationally. You know, it's really important to, you know, put your money where your mouth is and, you know, support things that matter to you throughout the country and, you know, locally, nationally, regionally, everywhere. You know, if you can stand behind it, stand behind it.
It seems like a growing trend now, because I think there are a couple other ones I've seen lately too that are actually going on at this moment of like the fundraiser type beers done collaboratively.
I think it's honestly, I think this is recognition of the power of local craft breweries. Like this is, we are community centers. We've been preaching it, and now we're really able to demonstrate this, that like we are community centers. We are leaders in our community. Craft beer is good for a community.
Yeah, everyone's been showing 100% what everyone's always been saying. And you guys have always helped small charities in the background with smaller fundraisers and things. These ones are just much more front and center, more like the vast public facing ways of doing it.
It's kind of like we had that virtual beer festival for BAM, and it's more just greeting the customer where they're at. If we can put a product in their hand that they see BAM on there, they see BAM's logo, I think it's kind of giving them exactly what they want, that rather than asking for a donation, here, buy some beer, know that a certain percentage of that is going toward BAM. We make Rockstar beers, and, we want to organize, can shares with the brewers there to kind of talk about each one while everybody drinks it. Like the possibilities are endless. And I think it's definitely kind of meeting the customer, giving them some, rather than asking for a donation, like, let's buy this, you know what I mean? And know that you're supporting by doing what you love about the industry. So
yeah. I mean, I agree. I think a lot of this is not only breweries looking for positions to take and standing behind organizations and helping, but also the customer, the consumer is looking for positions that they can take as well to show their support, and it's important. I mean, everyone should be taking positions on subjects, and it's important that people stand behind their beliefs.
Hey, Mike, is that barrel right over your shoulder the whiskey barrel aged
that one there
for all? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Cool.
Actually, yeah, it is. That's the single malt whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah. It's a chocolate mousse stout, single malt whiskey barrel. What was the specialty grain in there? Chocolate malt.
Yeah, it was I can't remember the percentages now. I think 75% chocolate malt, and the rest was all Pilsner. Hey, look, it's Cindy.
And it was Meridian hops too, right?
Meridian and UK Goldings hops. So actually, I just happen to have a bottle here. This is what was aged in that barrel.
You just happen to have that right there.
Well, I brought it up on another live stream, and it was still sitting on my desk.
Hey, Cindy.
Hi. How you guys doing?
Yep.
Well, just sitting around waiting for you.
All right.
So everyone else is given a rundown on what they made for this. Do you want to talk about yours? Because you were the only one that's put it out so far.
Yeah, we released our Brew For BAM this past weekend. We saw some available. It was on our pilot system. It's 3 barrels, so it's a taproom exclusive. It'll be pints and growler fills, amber ale that was brewed with red X malt. So we really kind of like that. It's beautiful color. It's not super sweet, but it has a lot of flavor, nice toasted biscuitness to the beer. Just a nice crisp amber ale. Just kind of take a break from the IPAs a little bit.
And everyone else gave a quick explanation of why they decided to join in on this project. So you want to tell us why you thought it was important to help support BAM?
So now I got no answer. I don't get to hear anybody else's. I've been Mully's has been around for 7 years now, and the Brewers Association of Maryland really helped us get going. And I've been involved on the board now. This is my 3rd year. And I got to see firsthand what the Brewers Association really does for the industry, not only for inflation, getting bills passed, because when we started, you couldn't even have pints in a tap room, and now you can. Growlers were just allowed the summer before we opened, so the industry has really come a long way, and then it has to do with Brewers Association of Maryland really pushing and advocating for independent. And now we're taking it a step further. There's been a technical summit, just kind of, we have a good number of breweries in the state. I mean, there's definitely always room for more. But let's raise the level up, a bit, and let Maryland become a destination. So I've got, like I said, I've gotten to see firsthand how much the Brewers Association of Maryland does for the industry here in the state. And, their two big fundraisers are the beer festivals, one in the spring, one in the fall. And they're hurting a little bit right now. So I was super happy to hear Mike called me about this, and definitely wanted to participate and do anything that we could, because they've been really good about keeping all the breweries up to date about any and all changes, because everything's changing on a dime right now. Who knows what's going on? So if there's anything that we can do to support them, then we're all in. That's why we did it.
All right, everyone. Unless you guys, anyone has any final words of wisdom, I think we've covered everything. For a rundown of all the breweries participating, and we'll keep it updated. Go to brew4bam.beer. I'll be sharing out anyone that adds on when the beers are being released and all that. And then obviously follow all these fine people to know when there is going to be released. Except for Molly's, they're overachievers and already put theirs out.
And also talk to your local brewery, get them involved.
Yeah, if you're at a brewery and it's not one of the ones listed, suggest to them that they should join in.
I was going to
Are you brewing for BAM?
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, thanks to Mike for heading this up, if that's how it went, or at least that's how I remember it from the text. And thanks for Chris for hosting this and kind of giving us a platform to grow it. I like to think that a lot of people are going to jump in on this, and what better platform than the Uncapped podcast to spread the word. So thanks, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
My pleasure. Even though WTOP didn't want to mention me in their article at all.
Yes, the idea started here, but it was with everyone else's support and conversations we all had multiple times. This is where it all landed. So the important part is where we are, not where it all started.
Go buy the beer. Everybody go buy the beer.
All of them, everyone. Just go on a statewide tour of Maryland.
Yeah.
Picking up beers. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for watching. And as Keith has said, go buy the beer. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.